Welcome back to a series so iconic, even Mario's watching. In today's video, Hasan is now trying to act tough in front of a crowd. He's crashing out on chatters as usual. Streamer XQC has called out Hasan. Tectone wants to box Hasan, maybe knock him out. Hasan Orbiter Frogan might be in serious trouble according to a lawyer. Ethan is beefing with new character Vaush. Destiny is beefing with Asmongold. Subscribe for a series so good, Netflix should send me a $500 million contract. Actual valuation. I'm open to negotiations, Netflix. Come on.
Let's up those numbers!
Now let's begin with Hasan giving a speech in front of a crowd, trying to act tough. Now, if you don't know the lore, the side character here is the #1 simp and hack journalist Taylor Lorenz, the one who is doing very important journalism, like talking about Roblox protests, and, texting kids in order to get a Roblox story. It seems like she's eyeing him up like an old cat lady, but I don't think he's gonna sleep with you unless you're part of a brothel, of course. Hasan says he doesn't care about the Democratic Party, but understands the need for them to achieve leftist goals.
The reason why I'm saying this is not because, contrary to popular opinion on TikTok from leftists on Twitter, I'm not a shepherd for the Democratic Party. I don't give a fuck about the Democratic Party, but they are our representatives, and they're supposed to represent us, and they do have a platform, and the media does listen to them, so we have to wield them like a weapon. To the best of our ability. We have to use them to also continue yelling about these things that we care about.
Wow, wonder why he hates the Democrat Party, guys. Maybe because they hit him back, he got kicked out the DNC. Pretty much every regular lefty thinks he's a fucking psycho terrorist supporting freak. Even his favorite news platforms like CNN have completely turned on him. They had the ADL guy on simply to shit on Hasan. Recently, he was crashing out at CNN as well because they asked his good friend if he is a Hamas sympathizer. So just saying, it's no shock that Hasan actually is not very fond of the party. It's pretty obvious that the extreme far lefty hates that they are not as extreme as him and not as insane. And let me just say, you're not cool, bro. You're not tough. This is like when a girl rejects you and you go, I didn't even care, bro. I don't even care about them. Actually, I'm too cool for them. They just happen to be in my vicinity here. I just have to sort of, deal with them, tiptoe around them. But actually, we're way too cool. They haven't come to our level yet. They haven't risen to the political understanding of supporting terrorists, right? Openly supporting terrorists. When they come to that level, then we can be friends. But for now, we're enemies. Friendship ended. Also, can you just imagine the amount of lobotomites in the audience, bro? Imagine showing up for a speech by Taylor Lorenz and Hasan Piker, bro. You gotta be the dumbest mother flipper on the planet. They're literally clapping for him. How brain dead do you have to be? And notice how Taylor was there trying to force out like a fake laugh for her man there. Please, he doesn't care about you unless you're the Twitch CEO or have some sort of that power. He ain't gonna suck your schlong. Hypothetically, of course, in this case. Here's what people are saying. I just laugh at the idea that grown adults actually look up to this regards. Left Joe Rogan, people, and yeah, I can imagine he still wants them to invite him to the next DNC. Yeah, basically people were like trying to assign Hasan as the Joe Rogan of the left, which might be the most laughable statement I've ever heard in my life. He's so creepy, it's almost unbelievable. I don't know if it was the lighting or what's going on, but he definitely got them Diddy vibes there, bruh. The moment Democrats abandon these far left commie fucktards and their ideologies, they could start winning again. As long as they pander to leftists, I won't ever vote for one. I think anytime you want to get across a somewhat reasonable argument, if you are unable to denounce the most extreme parts of it, then you sort of, loop yourselves in with them, right? Anyways, moving on to Hasan crashing out at a chatter who called him toxic.
This is not the same guy. Maybe he has a humiliation kink and he just made him get off, so now he has post-nut clarity. I think it's okay to sometimes make jokes about people who just come in here and their starting point is that I'm like a fucking terrorist, you know what I mean? This chat is low-key so toxic. Yeah, we are. We are, for sure. If you come in here and you fucking call me a goddamn terrorist because I'm fucking criticizing the state of Israel, and then you routinely try to fucking do this wishy-washy, like middle-of-the-road bullshit where you're like, well, Israel's kind of sketch, but Hamas are terrorists. Yeah, of course you're going to get a little bullied, you know? Don't be a pussy about it. Yeah, if someone comes in here to fucking bully and then they get a little bit of that in return, I think it's fair. There ain't no high road up in this bitch. This isn't a liberal community. It's so funny because like so much of the conservative grievances unironically revolves around like not getting respect from the left. Like they literally want to be pieces of shit and then have people like myself go, oh my God, sir, you're so terrifying. You're so scary. Why do you say those things? I secretly think you're in the right.
I just love how every single time, immediately he assumes that anybody criticizing him has to be some conservative, far-right, right-wing, MAGA grifter fascist. It's just impossible that someone from his own community could call him out or someone reasonable at all. It has to be like the far end, the other end of the political spectrum. Also, the chatter was absolutely right. Your chat is beyond toxic. It's like a fucking nuclear wasteland. Hasan's chat is the only entity in the entire universe that is worse than Hasan himself. I mean, they literally glaze shooters and terrorists alike. They just do not give a fuck. And obviously they don't. They're basically Hasan, but without the fact that he needs to show his face and maintain somewhat of a reputation, even though that's, you know, not very good right now. But he still needs to save face a little bit, right? To maintain his audience or whatever. But the chatters, they're all anonymous, so they don't give a single shit. They will say exactly what Hasan is actually thinking, and his chat basically reveals his true beliefs, you know? Also, nobody wants to be praised by you, Hasan. Oh my God, if Hasan actually praised me, I would question my life choices. You can stick to your number one love, you know, terrorist glazing. And holy, imagine a world where Hasan actually admits he's in the wrong, dude. This, like, it's just never gonna happen. We've been trying to elicit some form of an apology from this guy for about 50 years now. It's just never happening. People call him a terrorist for supporting actual terrorists. It's a coincidence, guys. It's just a coincidence. Don't come in here and call me what I am, because I will weaponize my chat to harass you because you're incapable of thinking for themselves. Translated for those who don't speak regard. And then we just got this very nice picture here. Totally life-size accurate. Don't be a pussy about it. The mother flipper that cried like a little baby bitch to Ludwig when Ludwig said a freaking joke about him and Hasan made Ludwig take down the freaking video. We know that you're not a liberal community, dog. You're very illiberal. We get it. It's funny because if you say one thing that goes against Hasan, you get blocked immediately in his chat. He's such a pussy. Anyways, moving on to XQC calling out Hasan. Now, if you missed the last videos, basically Hasan was being openly anti-Semitic. He was saying shit like Israelis are inbred or something. He's just completely unhinged, man.
If you replace any of the places that he's talking about, any of the people with any other country or any other people, you get clapped, you get banned, you get canceled instantly. I don't care what anybody says, bro. You want to test the TOS? Paraphrase the exact thing he said and replace Israel with another country and the people with other people, and you are done. You're banned within an hour, buddy. What are we on about?
That is packed to the fucking gills with the most inbred, uneducated, ultra-nationalist, rabid, Haredi population. And like,
I mean, now to defend it. Now, Chad, do the question mark thing where you defend it, Chad. Do the thing. Because you guys say this about me all the time, right? But the difference with me is that I just give takes that don't defend anybody. It's just what... Now defend it.
That was so base. Dead. This guy fucking sucks. Classic XQC clip. XQC falls on the line of people, you know, you don't really agree with all their opinions or whatever, but occasionally they have that good take where they're hating on his son and you're like, okay, you know, I kind of like this guy sometimes. He's kind of funny sometimes. He's kind of like Destiny when he's not unhinged, right? But yeah, double standards on Twitch. Color me surprised. I wonder why that is.
Happy birthday, dear Hasan.
This is crazy.
As we've discussed, Hasan will literally never get punished, ever in his entire life. It seems like the only way possible is if Twitch as a platform literally gets completely shut down and he's forced to move to YouTube or something, and then YouTube nukes him. I don't know. I wonder what agreement he made to be this immune from TOS. It has to be something absolutely wild to confer this level of immunity. Guys, I leaked this ages ago. Dan Clancy is latched onto a shalong. He's sucking the life out of that thing, dog. Give it a break, bro. Give it a break. I'm telling you, there is no contract. There is no signed deal. It's simply an appointment at 7 p.m. every night. Not the biggest SEC fan, but this guy's got to have some of the most natural, intelligent, everyday opinions I hear from any. Okay, this has got to be a troll, right? XQC is the guy that said you should bomb LA to stop the spread of wildfires. Like, let's not go too far here, all right? XQC is the guy who said that we can solve the Israel-Palestine conflict by making a state called Landia or some shit.
I'm gonna take the whole piece of land, full reset, all the same, and just call it like a Landia. Like it's just land, and just everybody wins.
XQC is the guy that said we can solve the nuclear bomb crisis by just having an island called Nuclear Island where we put all the world's nuclear bombs, and then if anybody tried to bomb anybody else, you just send a nuke from the nuclear bomb island to them before they got a chance to nuke anybody else. It's like a level of Einstein you would never be able to truly appreciate until you cross the 500 IQ mark where XQC actually is. So after this, Tectone responded to the clip. He wants to box Hasan.
Somebody needs to knock Hasan the fuck out. Like, genuinely. Like, genuinely, bro. It's actually unfucking believable how miserable this piece of shit is. At a certain point, guys, this level of hypocrisy is fucking insane. It's wild. Stop, you're gonna get banned. Well, I can't help it because I'm from
The most inbred, uneducated, ultra-nationalist, rabid, Haredi population, and like...
It's in my blood, guys. It's in my blood. Somebody doesn't need to do it. I need to do it at the next Creator Clash, whenever that happens. That would be great. I'm not gonna lie, man. This guy's entire existence just pisses me the fuck off. This guy stands for everything that is wrong with the world. These clips aren't out of context. This guy is legitimately responsible for ruining so many fucking lives and for ruining an entire streaming platform, bro. It's so pathetic.
Everybody hates Hasan in this house. All my homies hate Hasan. Honestly, boxing match would go crazy though. iDubbbz and Anissa, honestly, we can fish you out of poverty. Okay, you don't need to sell the house anymore. I think everybody will forgive you for everything you've done if you simply set this up, you know? Set up this boxing match. Maybe, you know, Hasan versus Tectone, Hasan versus Sam Hyde. Anybody. All right, we'll take it. It would be absolute cinema. In fact, I would buy a ticket, legitimately. Get in line, Tectone. Somebody already has first dibs. Everyone wants to see Hasan KO'd. I think that would be the most glorious thing on the internet. Now, there's an animation account called Lazy Shell who was making a video about Hasan, and they got a community guideline strike due to glorification of extremist groups. Wow. Here we got Hasan Piker, Twitch guns, and other stuff from the past couple weeks be like, and we got his animation of Hasan Piker here, and I just find it interesting. So he gets community guideline striked for glorification of terrorist groups or extremist groups. They're obviously talking about terrorists here. But Hasan's channel is just completely fine. Interesting. This is like when Ethan Klein did the content nuke on Hasan and then put it on Twitch, and he got a ban just because of talking about Hasan. You just can't make this shit up.
It got banned for encouraging or glorifying extreme violence. That's Hasan's content that's on your platform that he didn't get in trouble for.
You made the head way too big, that's why it's flagged. Moving on to Frogan. Quick recap, Ethan Klein sued Casey Denims and Frogan. Casey and Denims both have gotten lawyers now. Now Casey has 3 lawyers for some reason, as we learned last video. No idea what's going on. She's gonna be absolutely buried in expenses. As we know, her and her husband are both broke, so apparently she might be taking money from her dad or some relative, or they're like splitting the bills with Denims or something. No idea what's going on there. Now Denims herself has been served. She took it in person, but interestingly enough, Frogan was actually nowhere to be seen. It appears that Ethan's server actually tried serving her 4 separate times, you know, know, they went to her house at 2 a.m. when she was like streaming or something like that. They tried to go to her house at 6 p.m. later, but they just absolutely could not reach her, despite her being a literal orbiting body. I don't know how you miss her, but apparently she is the #1 world champion at hide and seek that professionals cannot even find her, right? So somehow that's happening. Nobody knows. But turns out you can't actually just dodge a lawsuit like that, according to lawyer and YouTuber LUS. And Frogan might actually be in some serious trouble real soon, especially if the judge decides to summon her to court. So first he talks about how she's going to default lose the case if this continues going on and she actually just avoids the papers here. Now, technically she has been served according to the law.
Frogan has been served already, meaning she will have to find a lawyer and respond. She's not hiding anymore. The service she received is something called substitute service, which is fine. So if different states will have different laws, but if you go there 3 times and you can't find anyone, or you did find somebody and maybe that person wasn't the description for Frogan, but as long as you leave the documents there, as long as you mail. So substitute service, by leaving copies, papers were served on 7/14 to 2025, 6/12. Papers were mailed. And due diligence, I made at least 3 attempts to personally serve the defendant. He actually made 4. Now, there are consequences if Frogan doesn't reply. So in my opinion, the processor, who is a official processor, they did everything officially. They have, in my opinion, done the legal necessary thing to be a substitute service. Now, if the home address is incorrect, that would be something interesting. But I'm assuming they have the right home address, and this individual is somehow related to Frogan in some capacity. Once alternative service is approved and done, the lawsuit moves forward with or without you. So even if Frogan disagrees, he has to go to court and say, hey, I disagree, and then they would obviously serve her. If you still don't respond, you will lose by default. What Frogan's doing is incredibly dangerous, and it's clear to me that she doesn't have a lawyer.
Oh, poor Frogan. I mean, just take the papers, bruh. Please just don't go out like this. This is like the most pathetic way to go out, actually not even showing up to the battle. This might be a worse fight than Logan Paul versus Dylan Dennis. And Dylan Dennis literally just showed his crotch to Logan and didn't throw a single punch, right? I would recommend Frogan at least get a lawyer, listen to them. Even if you're going to completely lose this case, it is still worth getting a lawyer just so they can guide you to the least amount of damage humanly possible to you, right? I'm actually being nice here. I'm actually offering some advice here. Maybe even ask your friend Casey and Denims to, share their lawyer if that's a thing. Apparently, that's a little complicated. Now, I think they might lower the fees or something, or group it under the same category because they're all the same things. Or they might just charge you all extra. I don't really know. It depends on the lawyer, I guess. But, tell you what, we'll sweeten the deal, all right? We'll add 50 chicken nuggets to the court, all right? We'll put it on there on the court day, right? So if you want it, come get it. Now, this next part, they talk about how if the court actually summons her and she continues dodging the way she has been, she might actually go to jail for contempt of court.
What happens if you ignore? How you can be held in contempt of court, and the court may issue an order to show cause or a motion to compel. The next step could be the judge issues a contempt order. So if you still don't respond, so now it's not just Ethan saying, hey, respond. It's the court stepping in saying, you got to respond to me, regardless of you responding to Ethan, because I believe substitute service has been applied, has been successfully completed. So in that case, then the judge will issue a contempt order, and this can involve fines or even jail time to force your compliance. So they can actually get a warrant for you to put you in jail.
Oh my God. I mean, that would be absolute cinema if it happens. And I'm just going to say, you know, a quick warning to the wardens or whatever, whoever manages the jail. You're gonna need a bigger cell, all right? You're gonna need a couple blocks, maybe a couple apartment buildings, you know, make sure to rent out the surrounding area. Now, the question remains, is this actually going to happen, right? Now, I would venture, like, probably not. Like, I know these people are stupid as hell, but are they stupid enough to avoid a direct order from the judge? I don't think so, all right? So if the judge orders her to show up after seeing that, you know, Ethan tried to reach her and she didn't respond, then I'm thinking that she will not violate that and risk going to prison, but you can never tell at this point, right? Now, a bunch of people pointed out that dodging Ethan is technically not against the law, right? You're allowed to, you know, have someone else receive the papers or something like that. I don't think you're allowed to say, like, you deny, like, even knowing this person or something, which seems to be what happened here, but it's not technically illegal to avoid the lawsuit because eventually they will just rule that Ethan has won this by default, right? Now, as the lawyer explained, the server has done their part, right? And she is considered served because, you know, they try to reach them at 4 different times, and if you can't reach someone, you can't reach them, all right? You've done your job, and they handed this other person the papers, the African female looking person or whatever, I don't know, some relative of Frogan, who knows, don't really know. But yeah, basically some people are saying that the server might have gotten the wrong place, the wrong address, or maybe gone at the wrong time. And Elias talks about how unlikely that actually is, that the server got the wrong address, considering they are a professional. And that's kind of what I said last time as well, which is like, this is a person paid specifically for this job. So anything that we don't understand, it's likely because it's something related to the case, right? Like, why are they going at 2 a.m.? Maybe because Frogan is most active at 2 a.m. You never know, right? These people do intense amounts of research. It's unlikely that they're incompetent.
Typically, people will actually just show up once the judge says they need to show up. Important, you wouldn't go to jail for just ignoring the lawsuit. You can go to jail for defying a court when a judge formally tells you to comply. These process servers, they do this for a living. They hunt down these individuals for a living. My experience, my process server is that they are relentless. She went to the hospital. Farina, my daughter, was born on a Thursday, and the process server, even though I was only a witness, I wasn't even the defendant or plaintiff in this case, I was being subpoenaed as a witness, went to the infant care, attempted to get into infant care, right, which is really bad, to serve me papers to be a witness. Now Frogan's got to respond, or Frogan could eventually end up in jail if the judge forces Frogan to, hey, come to court. That gets very serious very fast. This thing is going to get very serious really fast if Frogan doesn't show up with a lawyer very soon.
Dude, just put a Big Mac at the courtroom, bro. It's not that complicated. It's not that difficult. I feel like if this was my job, it would be very easy to lure her out. This isn't like a very devious person. They're not very good at hiding here. I feel like, okay, suppose she's in this area here, right? Just put a salad on one side. She's gonna start running there, and then put a Big Mac on the other side. Immediately, you know exactly where she's going. Set up a little net, a little trap there, and boom, you got her. All right, serve her the papers, be like, you gotta come to court, you gotta, you know, you've been served this lawsuit, you gotta respond with your lawyer, right? You know, she kind of reminds me of one of those cartoons, you know, you get this like a really slow character in a race, and then you put some food at the finish line, and they just start like sprinting max speed. That's basically Frogan, all right? So that's basically what we can expect there. Now, personally, what do I want here, right, as the resident slop tuber? Okay, I'd like to actually see her go to court and actually fight this case so we have some level of cinema. Okay, I'm running out of episodes here, all right? We need to keep the cinema going. The show must go on. So it'd be very boring if she just straight up got arrested. It would be a banger episode title, not gonna lie. But after that, it'd be pretty boring. So yeah, I'm hoping they fight this so, you know, we can like live stream the trial or shit like that. Unlikely. I don't wanna gas you guys up too much. It's probably just gonna be like a settlement out of court or something, but we'll see. You know, I never expected Ethan to actually sue these people, so unexpected things do happen, so, you know, we'll see. Moving on to a new character in the series, lefty streamer Vaush. Now, technically, Vaush is also, I consider him to be part of the Hasan Goon Squad, although he is a more independent character that doesn't see much conversation in these communities. But he does have pretty similar views. Ethan calls out Vaush and Hasan for getting their start in Destiny's community. So it turns out Ethan is covering some accusations against Vaush for him allegedly having some messages where he kind of looks like a PDF file. Now, you might have heard of Vaush before. He is the horse guy, you know, that you might know about for being extremely freaking weird and creepy. Now, keep in mind, these are all allegations so far made by Sarah Fields from an anonymous source.
Vaush is a despicable human being. He's a creep. He's a weirdo. Vaush rose to prominence in 2019 after starting his own YouTube and Twitch channels, having previously been part of the streamer Destiny's community under the alias Irish Laddie. How is it that they all come from Destiny? And yet, they love to scream about how I'm so associated with Destiny. I'm sorry to break it to both of you scumbags, Son and Vaush, but I made it without putting Destiny's cock anywhere near my mouth. All on my own, baby. The only cock I put in my mouth was my own.
Whoa!
Allegations of sexual harassment surfaced from explicit messages sent to a person named Poppy in Destiny's Discord. Oh, really?
I kind of remember.
It all
talking
goes
about
down
this.
in Destiny's Discord. Hey, Vaush.
What a good guy. Destiny is a great guy.
You spent a lot of time there?
I mean, that's one of the classic projections from Hasan and the Goon Squad. You're just a Destiny orbiter, right? And it's just hilarious considering Destiny literally made Hasan, gave him a massive boost in his career. They were like really good friends. Hasan would be like, you know, I would love to get Destiny laid all the time, bro. Like they were just buddy, and then they had some sort of a disagreement, something went down, and now they're like mortal enemies, arch nemesis. And Hasan and his Goon Squad can never be intellectually honest about this. Most people criticizing Hasan don't like Destiny either, to be honest, except his community, of course. So it's just a poor defense all around, and they never actually address any of the arguments, right? But anyways, this next part, he talks about some of the leaked messages Vaush was allegedly sending, according to Sarah Fields.
I suggest
incriminating sentence you can do because you're confirming that they're under 18 and they can see their dick.
And you've offered to show the dick without before.
when they were 18.
Now, what are the chances that if this person responded by saying, I want to see it now, that Vaush wouldn't have sent it to them?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Age person.
This is grooming.
Yeah.
This is grooming.
Grooming implies
is not
some level of
just-
subtlety.
Yeah, this
I
is
mean, you're right. This is pursuit.
this is
Yeah, this-
sexual.
Haircut, man.
The way I see it, the age of consent exists out of respect for the numerous power imbalances older people have over younger people. As those imbalances, at least some of them, are redressed, though the advent of socialism, the age of consent should therefore be lowered. This motherfucker is a socialist because he wants to fuck kids.
Oh my god. Basically.
No kidding.
Because he's saying the power dynamic will be different,
When we
so we can
achieve-
change the age consent.
He's saying, in my perfect socialist utopia, adults can fuck children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very weird messages. Is that really what socialism is? I guess I need to update my knowledge, guys. I just didn't read that in the definition of socialism. How is that anything to do with lowering the age of consent? What? I just think, you know, any sort of justification behind lowering the age of consent is completely insane, and I feel like you need to be investigated. All right, like, why are you arguing this? Why are you sending these messages? Now, if those particular messages, especially the one about the 18-year-old and you can, you know, the dick or whatever, if those messages are true, that is some horribly weird shit. Now, if he comes out and somehow debunks it, fair enough. But yeah, people are calling him a giant weirdo. Well, to be fair, people were calling him that before this as well with all the horse shit. You know, I will not recap that. It's very, you know, disgusting and shit, so I won't, but you can look it up. Right, anyways, lots of drama going down. Destiny is fighting with Asmongold now. Crashes out over Asmongold's Obama-Russia hoax coverage.
I would permaban this guy if he was on my platform. It's actually, he's so fucking retarded. Like, can't you, you should have to sit down. This would be you want the streamer holocaust? You know what it would be? Here's how this is the streamer holocaust. You give him a book and you give him some paper and then you give him a loaded gun and you say, here's your choice. 1 hour of reading every day or kill yourself. And 95% of streamers and YouTubers that cover the news would be dead in 2 days. It's unbelievable. Like, this stuff is out here everywhere. It's so easy to read. It's like, it's such a joke. And then instead we get Asmongold, okay, the fucking Roach King, to tell us through common sense about how it would be impossible to ever have any kind of interference in any kind of election. Because I guess Russia didn't have computers in 2013. What do you say, they didn't have the technology for it to send a fucking email?
Holy shit, this guy needs his meds, bro. Oh my god. Bro, every time I'm watching this guy, he's always just crashing out. Holy shit. Now, I don't really care about the details of the politics here. My guess is that none of them actually know if it's real. Obviously, they're just guessing here. You know, in a perfect world, they both unite against exclusively hating against Hasan. But apparently everybody just has their own beef, okay? You know, they just gotta be talking politics all the time. Must be a pretty miserable life, if you ask me. But hey, do what you gotta do. Destiny's livid over nothing. Who asked for a sucking cock's opinion? Alright, Twitter needs to stop, bro. Destiny crashes out daily, nothing new to see. Okay, I can agree with that one. My favorite, he doesn't actually dispute what Asmongold said. He just thinks he's wrong, yet the evidence in the document shows a bullshit story. Right, so Asmongold responded,
Be impossible to ever have any kind of interference in any kind of election. Because I guess Russia didn't have computers in 2013. What do you say, they didn't have the technology for it?
Yeah, everybody influences everybody's elections. That's never what was asserted. It's that the government did it on behalf of this, and they were doing it in a specific way with a specific goal. If they have evidence for it, then go ahead and post it. But listen, I thought it was bullshit. I did, and I think most people thought it was bullshit. And again, this is the same person, by the way, Destiny is going and trying to say this. These are the people that are trying to, you know, they're trying to say that Biden was somehow mentally sound and mentally, you know, like fucking functional. Yes, I do think that they probably lied about this. Just the same as they lied about the Kamala Harris interview that they falsely, you know, they cut up intentionally to make her look better. And so anyway, it was the last time you read a book, though? Honestly, I've read posts on Reddit that are longer than books. But anyway, yeah, maybe like 2 or 3. But I don't read books. Why the fuck could I read a book? The media is obviously fucking biased. If you can't see that, you're delusional. Destiny thinking that, oh, wow, there's no way that they made a hoax up. There's no way they made this shit up. Well, what about Trump making up the bullshit about Obama being from Kenya? It's like this idea that, oh, nobody can ever make anything up. Get the fuck out of here. It's obvious that it happens. And so anyway, what was I? Why did I even go to Twitter? I got totally distracted because Destiny was mad, and I forgot even what he was saying.
Dude, I can't tell if this guy's joking, all right? I think reading books is a good thing, to be honest. You know, you get a lot of knowledge there. Now, technically, you could get that through the internet. In fact, probably more efficient way to do it, but most people don't, you know, end up reading books on the internet. They end up spending time on Reddit and Twitter, and that's definitely not a good source for your information. Now, I can't agree with the part that the media definitely lies all the time, but, you know, it doesn't mean they're always lying in every instance. Again, I don't really care about the details of this. It's some brain rot politics bullshit. I just find the beef funny. Everybody's always screaming at each other. Anyways, click this video or you gotta play a game of hide and seek with Frogan. She's an expert, guys. You have no chance. All right, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.